Well, good afternoon, everybody. 4th of July weekend is over. Everybody should be back to work. And as promised, I come here. I'm a little late. Folks, I've been up since 4 a.m. And then I had a doctor appointment about a mile away. So I decided I'm going to walk there. And I walked hard. I mean, I was walking like this, okay? I walked like that there. I ended up walking 3 miles. When I got home, I got to tell you, I was tired. All right, so I took a little nap. Now, as I told you, I'm not going to be talking a lot about Diddy anymore. And I can make a lot of speculations about how much time he's going to get. I have no idea. I'm not going to speculate because this whole thing didn't turn out as a lot of people thought it would. And what happened here? You know, a lot of people, I've heard on the national news, okay, Megyn Kelly, of why didn't Trump get rid of Maureen Comey? And I don't have the exact answer. I'm not Donald Trump, okay, but I'm going to assume, okay, if you remember, Williams was the head of the Southern District. He resigned before Trump came in. Then when Trump came in, he had to get all his nominees approved, and Pam Bondi got approved, and they figured, hey, look at all they had to do was put somebody in there, okay? Undertaker, thank you for coming, my friend. I appreciate that there. Now, I'm not going to get much into it today, but I'm going to start talking about the Abercrombie Fitch trial that's going to be coming up. Now, Abercrombie Fitch, for those of you who've been to New York and you walk down Fifth Avenue, you see the store. And they got stores a lot of places else, okay? Hello, I'm on Hawaii, KP, Arizona, how are you? Thank you for coming, everybody. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you people. You know, I don't need to be doing this. I'm 80 years old. I work 7 days a week, folks. I'm always doing something. And you know why I'm doing this here? I'm doing this for my love that I have for each and every one of you, okay? And because I have knowledge from my 80 years on this earth, and I want to try to provide that knowledge and talk to you about my life's experiences. And there's Judge Judy's court. We got a lot of good people here. You're all so great. Thank you, Nellie. I appreciate that. You know, folks, Abercrombie and Fish, I'm not going to read you everything about it right now. Where do I got it? Okay, I got the papers here. All right. But I'm going to read to you about something I just found out. There's a disbarred plaintiff's personal injury lawyer here in Los Angeles, Thomas Vincent Girardi, okay? He was sentenced to 87 months in federal prison for leading a years-long scheme in which he embezzled tens of millions of dollars of settlement money that belonged to his clients. Now, see, folks, when you hire a lawyer, you got to be careful who you're hiring. Really check them out, okay? You know what? 87 months. And he has dementia. Dementia. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I said, hold on, what prison they're going to put this guy in? Now, I've been in prison. And I'm saying, how are they going to take care of a guy with dementia? Now, I'm going to tell you, Where I was in Lompoc, the doctors were not really doctors, okay? And they were doctors, but they were from the Philippines, okay, from other countries. And then the nurses were the same. So you're not getting the best medical care there, all right? And for emergency things, they had to take you out. So anyways, I checked the Bureau of Prisons inmate locator. Now this guy just got the 87 months, I don't know, 6 months ago that he got sentenced. So I want to see what prison he's in. I'm going to tell you what prison he's in. He's not in prison. Thomas Vincent Girardi, registration number 43156-510. Age 86 years old. Race white. Male. Release date unknown. Location not in BOP custody. So this guy's probably in a hospital someplace where they put people. Okay, the BOP can't take care. So going to the Abercrombie and Fitch situation, all right? The head guy in that case, all right? And I got some papers here. My son will be returning from vacation tomorrow, so he will get me all the information out of Pacer so I could explain that trial to you. This is going to be a much bigger trial than the Diddy trial. A lot of similarities. And a lot of similarities. But you know one thing they're not going to do, folks? They're not going to play the race card. How come the Italians never played a race card? The whites, the Chinese, the Spanish? But Diddy played the race card. It didn't go over with. You know, folks, you break the crime, no matter what color, what race you are, you broke a crime. You did a crime. Face up to it. Be a man. Okay? Now, the head guy, Jeffries, in the Abercrombie Fitch, he's got dementia. So he's not going to be able to stand trial. But he's got co-defendants. I didn't see where there's a RICO. I haven't read the indictment yet, okay? But my son will return tomorrow, and I'm going to get that information for you so I could tell you about it and be more effective. Now, I'm hearing all sorts of crap on YouTube, and, you know, everybody's trying to get their followers, maintain their people. Because a lot of people got big because of Diddy on YouTube. You know, and if Diddy does time, I think, you know, they should all help him out in his commissary. Now I'm hearing somebody saying how Diddy's going to go broke, he's not going to have no money. You know, people don't understand money. Diddy was a billionaire. He's no longer a billionaire. But he's still worth somewhere around 300 to 400 million. Now that's his net worth, okay? That includes his real estate holdings and different things. But remember something, he was a recording artist. He produced a lot of people. He owns a lot of publishing. So he's got constant money coming in from that. And he's got constant money coming in from other things. So bottom line, from what I was able to ascertain, and I don't like counting other people's money. That's a rule that I have. I live by it all my life. Okay? But in liquid reserve, he's got about $70 million. $70 million. That's a lot of money, folks, no matter how you chew it up. Okay? I don't have it. Now let's talk about those civil lawsuits. He probably will win some of them, not many. He'll probably make settlements with most of them. I'd say probably, and they're not going to get what Cassie got, okay? Really, he'd make 4.1 million, so he'd make the money. But anyhow, Diddy's not a stupid guy, and don't get that. So where was I? I lost track here. I'm going to get to that question, okay? What was I going to say? Could somebody remind me here? Let's see, what the freak, where was I? Okay, going back to Abercrombie Fitch. What's the big difference? It's going to be in the Eastern District of New York. That's in Brooklyn. That's where my case was. They got much better U.S. attorneys over there. That's where Kelly was, all right? And guess who what? One of the prosecutors on the Kelly case was Elizabeth Geddes. Guess who my prosecutor was? Elizabeth Geddes. And I'm going to tell you, Maureen Comey can shine her shoes, okay? Thank you, Mikey. How are you? You know, as we're all friends here, I want to tell you a little something personal. You know, last night I talked to my writer and director, and I got some bad news about one of the producers on my show. And his wife is the head of production for a production company, a young, beautiful gal. Her name is Denise, and she was in Chicago doing 2 movies. She was producing 2 movies, and they were filming them there when she collapsed. She has bone cancer, and they rushed her to a hospital in Florida that's doing some for her, but supposedly she don't have long to live. And folks, normally I don't get affected by these things, but it affected me very much. I talked to the husband last night, the producer. His name is Nick, really nice guy. And it really affected me. I mean, here's a woman, she's about 45 years old or something like that. They got 3 wonderful children, and you know, they're all down in Florida except one girl. Just graduated high school. She's about 17 years old, and she had her birth certificate, she had her school ID, okay? And would you believe they wouldn't let her get on a plane to fly to Florida, okay? Because she didn't have her ID. You know, all this bullshit they're doing with all these laws. I'll tell you, I'm glad I'm 80. I'm on the downside of life. I don't want to know what's going to happen to this country after I'm gone. But it's not good. And folks, when my son returns, I'm going to talk to him because I want to thank all of you who've been giving me, hitting that thanks button. A lot of you, been, sending me some love through that, and I really appreciate it. So I'm going to set up something with cancer. I don't know what cancer organization, nonprofit yet. I want to do one. My baby sister died of cancer, colon cancer. So the money you send me, I'm going to take 50% of it and have it sent directly to a charity, okay? I'm not a greedy person, guys. So, Tiffany, I'm sorry to hear that. Genetics, yeah, they say. Thank you, Tiffany, and all my best to you and all my prayers to you, okay? So, folks, I got a lot of things that I want to talk to you about, okay? You all heard Lil Rod, he's been out making the rounds, and he's telling you there's more indictments coming down, and that's why they kept him in jail. That's not why. The judge doesn't know if there's another indictment. The judge kept him in jail because he's violent. Simple as that. His lawyer said it in court. Deshaun, Puffy, Diddy, Cohn is a violent individual. His lawyer said it. That's why he's in prison. I had somebody from Diddy's team threaten me here on one of my YouTube things. Say, wait till Diddy comes out. Well, look, let me tell you something. Whoever you were, all right, when Diddy gets out, I'll give you my address and my phone number and have him send whoever he wants. But I'll guarantee you, they're not going back to where they came from. Okay? At 80, I'll still fight anybody. I'll go up against anybody, and I don't care how many there are. Okay? That's me. I've been that way all my life. Okay? So don't think you're going to scare me, whoever it was. And I hope he sees this video. And that's for all you Diddy freaks out there. So, Tunnel to Towers. Cancer is a horrible thing, you know, and this dementia and Alzheimer's is another. You know, my older brother Joey, I had to go back to Syracuse, Rome, New York for something. I wanted to see my brother and his wife. I mean, beautiful family he's got, my brother, and my brother Joseph, and they had to put him in a home. So my sister picked me up, my other sister, Patricia, and we went to see my brother. And when I first got it, he didn't know me. He didn't know who I was. I looked around the place and nobody knew who the hell they were. It's such a terrible disease, okay? And before I left to come back to California, I stopped again in Syracuse at the place where my brother was. And this is the last thing I will ever remember about my brother. Because then he remembered me. And we were standing there, and he looks at me, and he says, "How old are you, brother?" I looked at him. I says, "I'm only 39. How old are you?" And he looked back at me. "I'm 39 too." And we smiled at each other and then hugged. And that's what I remember of my brother, Joey. And he passed a couple weeks later. So folks, we're fortunate to be here. Every day is a great day. Thank you, Marcia. I'm sorry I made you cry. You know, so many bad diseases. We lose so many people very young. It's terrible. You know, if there was a way I could take that Denise's place who has cancer and let her live, I would. I would trade my life. All right? But we can't do that. So we got to make every day, every minute on this earth that we have, okay? Make it a great day. Try to make other people happy. You know, when I take my walk, and everybody I pass, I'll say, "Good morning, how you doing? Good morning, how you doing?" And you know, a lot of those people, nobody ever talks to them. Because people are not talking to each other no more. People are just texting. Okay? JP, you're right. Life is a gift, and make the most of it. So, folks, I try to make somebody happy, and it's not a hard thing. It's not that you guys give about somebody something, okay? If you give them a smile and you talk to them, you could make somebody's day. I walk in a grocery store. I know the people by names in there. I'll go in. "Hi, Diane, how you doing today? How's the family?" Okay? Nobody ever talks to these clerks in the grocery stores. Nobody. I do. And you know what? They love me when I walk in there. They're all there. How you doing? How's everything? All right? So, folks, I want you to get, I'm a gangster. And most of the gangsters that I know are just like me. We're not bad guys, okay? Perhaps we did some things that are bad, okay? I paid the price for it, okay? And your brother was Joe too, Nelly. Only 25 years old. Jeez, Christ, 25. It's terrible that we're losing people. So folks, you know, everybody's got a phone. We use it. Thank you for that $5. Is that KP? I appreciate that. I think it's KP. Okay? All right? And I can't tell who. Wanderer. And, all right, thank you for always sharing your wisdom. I'm so happy I caught you on live chat. Wanderer, I thank you so much. Okay, Wanderer just sent me $5. Okay, definitely appreciate it. You know, folks, we only have one life. I don't know anybody who's ever come back. And make every day, every minute, be happy. Be happy that you got another day here on earth, okay? Because you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. And so I wanted to share that with you. So folks, you're gonna see more about me. Other people are asking me, you know, they're on YouTube, how everybody celebrated when Diddy got back to prison. Listen, folks, you gotta remember something. In prison, everybody's the same, no different. However, prison is a very segregated place. The blacks sit with the blacks, Italians with the Italians, Spanish with the Spanish, okay? And so forth. That's how it is. You stay with your own in prison. Would people be happy that he won something? Sure. Remember, everybody in there is a criminal. They're there for a reason, and they're all fighting the government. So that happens often if somebody does beat some cases, all right? That happens. So it's no big deal. He's still in prison. How much time he will get, I don't know. The judge doesn't know how much time he's going to get. The judge has to get that. Judge has got in his mind because he's got 2 charges that hold up the 10 years each. Nobody's ever got 10 years on those, from my understanding. Okay? But let's say he gave him 2.5 years on each of those. That's 5 years. Let's say enhancements or relevant conduct. It's all going to be in there in the probation report. Is violence going to come out? What about the suspicions of Tupac that he paid $1 million to? I don't know if that could be in a report or not. I don't know. I'm not a probation officer, but, you know, okay. I got enhanced for having a managerial role in a robbery. Okay, I got enhanced for a gun charge, which was a 924C, a minimum mandatory. Okay. You know, why wasn't Diddy charged with guns? Why? That would have been the easiest charge to prove on its own. Maureen Comey didn't do it. Why are so many of the Epstein files missing? Because of Maureen Comey. You think you're going to see all the people that were involved with Diddy? No, you're not. because of Maureen Comey. So this was probably a bad case that she brought, that she fixed up, and things that she's hiding. And who is Maureen Comey? Her father was the FBI director, all right, who called Donald Trump Hitler. He's the guy that destroyed Hillary Clinton from becoming president. Remember that there? You see the power? So he is no good. He knows how to bury things. We don't know how many other cases that James Comey, FBI director, buried during his time as the FBI director. Maybe someday to come out. So folks, I want to thank you all for coming here today. I'll be back. Thank you so much, all of you. And remember, okay, I love you, and I want you all to have a great day. All my love and respect to each and every one. Thank you very much.